Hey guys, this is Pastor Nick with Grace Baptist Church. Uh, the last video I left you off with Job, and we were looking in the second chapter. Remember, Job has lost all of his possessions. His children have died, and his wife looked at him and said, "Why don't you just curse God and die?" So Job is in a dark, dark place. Um, he's by himself. He's sitting in the dust and ashes, and he's got that piece of broken pottery he's using to dig at the boils and the sores that cover his entire body. So let's pick up in chapter 2, verse 11. Now it said, when Job's three friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, when they heard about everything that happened to Job, that they all came from their house, and they was going to go meet Job and just check on him. So when they were on their way, they looked from a distance. They could barely recognize him. He was so covered in sores and boils that they didn't even know who he was. They were so taken back by Job's appearance that they were just startled, and they showed it in the only way that they knew how. Said they tore their clothes, they wept aloud, they threw dust in the air and on Job's head. Then they sat down on the ground beside Job, and they were speechless. The Bible says the four of them sat there for 7 days straight, not saying a word. They were just speechless. Job's suffering was intense. It was very, very severe. After these 7 days, we're breaking into chapter 3 now. Job finally spoke. And this is where we see that Job was nothing special. He was a regular human. Job said that he curses the day he was born. May the day I was born perish, and the night that said a boy is conceived. If only that day had turned to darkness. Job looks at his friends and said, "I wish I was never born." His suffering was great. He was depressed. He was suicidal. It goes on to say in verse 11 of chapter 3, "Why was I not stillborn? Why didn't I die as I came from the mother's womb? I wished I'd died." It says, back before that just a little, it says, "Let the ones who curse days condemn the day I was born." And it goes all the way to chapter 4, and it ends. Chapter 3 ends. It says, "I cannot relax or be calm. I have no rest, for turmoil has come." This may ring home to a lot of us. Job was in his eyes, beyond recovery. He couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So he looks at his friends, and for sake of pronunciation, I'm going to call them Eli, Bill, and Z. He looks at his friends, Eli, Bill, and Z, and he says, "Guys, I wished I was never born. I wished I was dead. Because if I was dead, then I'd be at rest. And I have no rest." Many things happen to us in this life. And yes, there's been a time when I wish the same. But something I've learned through that is the light at the end of the tunnel is God. God brings us through. But we have to rely on God. Now, this story doesn't end here. We've still got several chapters to cover. Matter of fact, Eli's fixing to speak later on. And we're going to go through each one of Job's friends and what they say and the response. And luckily, we already have the end of this book. I know how it ends. And it's a happy ending. So stick with me and let me show you how God can pull us out of depression and a suicidal state of mind. Okay? I look forward to next time.